All right, guys, welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson, and this podcast is called The Struggle, but since everyone's struggling with something, I'm trying not to talk about too many struggles during quarantine, so I'm just going to be laughing with my friends about current event stuff and stuff that's going on, and hopefully just trying to uplift everybody. So if you have not subscribed to The Struggle, make sure you do that. We're on all podcast platforms. We are on YouTube now. Well, we've always been on YouTube, but on a separate channel, and I just started putting them on my own personal YouTube, so I'll link to that. So make sure to subscribe there if you want to watch. Also, rate and review us on iTunes. And last but not least, if you haven't told somebody about The Struggle and you're listening to this regularly, please pay it forward and tell someone. Now I'm going to introduce my co-host. I don't even honestly feel like I can call him that anymore because he just, he'll text me an hour before and be like, yo, I got to go to Costco.
Wow.
Candice,
Wow.
Oh man, I forgot I have to move today. I forgot I have to move.
Woo!
Before I go in on you, Mal, welcome.
Oh.
Mal Hall, I'm gonna put co-host in quotes because
there's more.
It's speculation. Is he really? Is he really? My co-host, Mal, please defend yourself. What do you have to say? What do you have to say for yourself?
Hey everybody. Thank you. Everybody give it up for my empathetic co-host, Candice Thompson, who is just the most understanding, level-headed, reasonable person around. Follow me on my website, malhall.com. I'm on social media at malhall and YouTube, malhall TV. I am moving, and initially this was going to be the big weekend, but it turns out last weekend was the big weekend. And as the man of my house, it's my job to lift the heavy things. And so I had to not be here last week. And judging from the clip I saw on Instagram, everything went off just fine. I'm sure the very beautiful Chinedu Unaka did a great job. Hilarious Ron G did a great job. And Candice is still here. So
I am still here.
I'm sorry that I'm back. Candice, who's our guest today?
We are going to introduce, really quick before I introduce Sydney, I am empathetic to anyone who has to move. I don't want to lose any followers that are movers. I'm not a move shamer. I just want to put that out there. But more importantly, it's the timeliness of the text message that you sent me that could have been better, Mal. So let's just admit, you knew you were moving, so why am I getting a text message an hour before we record? So then I had to find a replacement.
You know what, Candice?
Just say I'm right. Just say I'm right. That's all I want.
So we can move on with the podcast. I'm going to say you're right. And who is our guest today? I'm more excited about our guest than continuing with this line of conversation.
Than getting scolded. How about that? You guys. Now you guys, welcome hilarious comedian Sydney Castillo.
How you guys doing, man? First of all, Mal, believe the women. I'm happy to be here. You know, shame on you for moving, you prick. I can't believe you would do that and leave Candice out here with two other co-hosts. I'm happy to be here. I'm as professional as they come. So I've been waiting to do this on time, so I'm here.
Sydney's been waiting in his room since we signed off from the last episode that he was on.
That was the last time. That was
She texted me today. She texted me yesterday. You still in? You goddamn right I'm still in, Candice. Had to help Mal move, but I'm back.
Oh my gosh.
I love both of you dearly. I want you to know that. Now, thank you both for being here. Namaste. All peace and love. Also really quickly, I want to say we lost John Lewis. By the time people listen to this, so I just it'll be days now that we found this out, but I just want to say RIP to John Lewis, congressman from Georgia, also a huge Black civil rights activist. So you get this right now, John Lewis. Thank you for your work, and let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. I think the first one I want to talk about today is the huge thing that went on Twitter that like nothing, no one was talking about it except for a specific group of people. So I want to discuss the Wayfair child trafficking conspiracy theory that happened on
Jesus.
Twitter. It started trending because so many people were tweeting about it, but yet we haven't heard about it at all on the mainstream media, like at all, not on like in any publication, nor I've seen anything just on like MSNBC or ABC or anything like that. And Sydney, you just found out because I sent you the topic. You still didn't even know.
Listen, when Candice sent me the topic, I was like, where does she get her news from? Like, how this is a thing? I had to look up what Wayfair does. And then I was like, oh, kid, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is how you start your Saturday.
Oh, you have no idea. You got Mal kind of knows. Like, I don't know. I think we talked about it, but like I've been in so many rabbit holes in quarantine, like so many about my conspiracy theories and okay, so the Wayfair thing, for maybe we have some listeners that don't know, but it was trending on Twitter because they have been accused by a group of people called QAnon. And if you don't know what QAnon is,
it's for athlete's foot. Use QAnon twice a week to cure up your chronic athlete's foot. Go ahead.
Ain't that a bunch of athletes? I've been using QAnon for about 9 weeks, and it has severely helped arthritis in my ankles. And QAnon, I die by it.
Thanks, Frank Thomas. My lady loves it too. Thank you, QAnon.
I'll be seeing Frank Thomas in commercials telling my younger friends, no, he was amazing at baseball. No, you don't get it.
Is he the guy? Is he the big guy that does those
Nugenics?
Nugenics, yes.
Yeah.
Which
and
to
your
me,
lady will love it too.
Yeah.
First of all, why is he endorsing a product that sounds too closely to eugenics? I don't like that at all.
You would never know one of the baddest men to have a baseball bat in his hand. You would never know.
Never know. Never know. All right.
So it's a QAnon. So QAnon is a group of people. People have labeled them conspiracy theorists because they have been on Twitter and on social media, on Reddit, on all these other platforms talking about the the Epstein flight logs, the pedophilia that's happening in these underground elite clubs that a lot of politicians are allegedly a part of. And so a lot of them, for some reason, it got traction on the right wing. So a lot of these QAnon people just so also happen to be Trump supporters, which is why a lot of like left people say they're crazy, don't listen to them, they support Trump, so they don't pay them any attention. Right. But to me, it's like this Wayfair thing started trending, and I'm like, can we separate the politics for a second and put the crazy Trump supporters to the side and like pay attention to what these people are actually talking about, which is that Wayfair, on their website, they were selling their furniture for it would be like $10,000 for a regular ass cabinet. And the name of the cabinet would be like Sharita, the Sharita cabinet for $10,000. And then they would look up missing girls like in that in a specific area, and there'd be like a Sharita Wilson missing from so-and-so. And so they made these, and it wouldn't just happen once. There was like multiple connections of girls' names that were missing to these pieces of furniture that Wayfair was selling for enormous, outrageous prices, and it didn't make sense. And on their website, and people have taken numerous screenshots of this, it'll say like, come here to for your baby and kids needs. We sell babies and kids, and it was just like the wording of it. It's like, you guys are literally saying you're selling children. And another fun fact is that last year, Wayfair got called out for selling furniture to ICE detention centers. You know, those are the ones who've been separating the kids from their families for the immigrants that are coming to our country. They got called out for selling furniture to those detention centers, and 2,000 of those kids have gone missing. So this is not the first. This is not the first time this has come up with Wayfair, and I feel awful because my whole office that I just decorated.
This microphone's from Wayfair. It was a. Never mind. I don't want to. That's a joke, but I'm gonna pass on. I don't want to. I'm gonna pass on it.
I was like, whoa, Sydney's gonna go for it.
I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, I only found out about this Wayfair thing because I was going down an Epstein wormhole.
Yes.
After what's her name got arrested.
And, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yes.
Yeah. And then I came across a YouTube video highlighting all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, that's interesting. But has any one of these people purchased said cabinet and has a child shown up? I think that's an easy way to like crack this case wide open.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that if you find one of those people, it's going to be someone that obviously knew what they were doing. It's not like I went online and was like, oh, I want a $10,000 cabinet. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Isn't the way to solve that crime is to just get $10,000 and buy this cabinet? Mm-hmm. And then when a kid shows up, you're like, hold on.
Oh.
Can I return this cabinet?
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah, like elephant in the room. Like it's a first crime.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna kill somebody, I won't sell the knife and be like Kadim's knife. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's very sloppy. But it's one of those things, to me, it's that hiding in plain sight thing where it's like it's so obvious that you don't see it because you're like, they would never do that. That's so sloppy. But that's why they would do it, because you wouldn't pay attention to it.
That's how they can offer everything else on their website for super cheap prices, because they're selling kids.
That honestly, well, also this desk that I have is poorly made. I will say that. It's a Wayfair desk, and they said it was marble. This is plastic. I'm pretty sure they probably had one of the kids make it. They probably are using the kids there to make the furniture.
It's like, if they're guilty, I hope they get the full extent of the law, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, if it's just a rumor, and that was, I hope somebody from Wayfair sees somebody from QAnon in the street and beats their ass, bro. Like, you didn't just say like, I did money laundering. You was like, I was selling kid. I'm gonna beat you till the rumor stops spreading.
Yeah, no.
That's what Wayfair should do if this is not true.
Yeah, and here's the thing, is that to me there is no reasonable explanation. What's the explanation as to why the girls' names match the cabinets? You know what I'm saying? And why were you charging this much money? There is no reasonable explanation that they have given. And
so it'd be like a $10,000 cabinet. Like, let's say it's like $100 cabinet. I'll sell it to you for $10,000, and the name of the cabinet would be like Sharita.
Yeah, or like any. If you look in missing girl files, you'll see like it's all public, information.
That's
so
crazy.
You can pull it up very easily. So and it wasn't just one girl. It was multiple, like, people on TikTok were talking, but they were like, this is not a coincidence. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, but again, they didn't give an explanation. They just pulled all the stuff down off their site. They didn't give an explanation. They just pulled all that stuff off their site.
Wow.
That to me is suspicious as fuck. They basically said, we're not doing that, but that's it. They didn't say why. They didn't say, oh, it's because so-and-so, we had a miscalculation, but they didn't give any explanation. So that to me is suspicious as fuck. Amazon also had some suspicious, same listings where it'd be like a pillow.
Not Amazon.
No, I know. I don't want to leave it.
I just found, I literally, kid you not, this is from Prime.
Yes, I ordered this microphone yesterday.
Okay,
and it's here today. Yeah, no, you guys don't. I was talking to Chinadu, who was just on the show. You guys know Chinadu. He was just on the show last week. We've been going back and forth in our DMs because we were talking about the Wayfair stuff, and he's like, I hope to God this is not true. But what people don't understand is that elite pedophile rings have been a part of this country, not just this country, this world, since the beginning of time. And the stuff, if what these QAnon people are saying is true. There's some shit that's about to come to the surface that involves celebrities, that involves politicians that y'all don't want to hear is involved.
Why didn't they get the FBI involved? Like, why isn't this
allegedly they are. So what's happening right now is they are doing a secret investigation.
You know about it. How's it secret?
Well, that's what I'm. That's a very good point.
Wow. Tell you what, they got time to get their shit together because everybody know. If Tony Montana would have heard a podcast first, and be like, wait, don't go over there. They're waiting on us.
No shit, they pulled the cabinets off because everybody knows the secret.
Yes, that is a very good point, Sydney Castillo, that you brought up right there. But like how I would say the general public does not know. I would say most of the general public does not know about the investigations, mainly because they label these people as conspiracy theorists for sure. So they're like, whatever they're saying, that's not true. It can't be true. And it sounds so crazy. But one of my friends sent me a podcast to listen to. Since I told you I've been going down rabbit holes this whole entire time. I'm in quarantine, but it was about an elite pedophile ring that was going on back in the 80s. Some lady's kid got taken, and years later, some like teenagers, or they were probably adults at this time, 4 people came forward who had been a part of this. They had been taken by to work in like child, like sex trafficking, like weird pedo shit that was happening. And it involved a Black Republican by the name of Larry King, a Black Republican. And according to these kids that were a part of this who got taken, like George H.W. Bush was there. Like, we're talking about some serious shit that went, and there's not much evidence from it, because the 4 kids that were a part of it who claimed they got taken and molested and sexually abused by these politicians, 2 of them backed out and took back their testimonies because someone who was about to expose the whole thing that had photographic evidence coincidentally died in a plane crash. Him and his son. He was like this guy who went to go pick up pictures from this guy who had the evidence. On the way back home, his plane crashed. It was him and his son that were in the plane. And so after they saw that, they were like, they're gonna kill us. So they backed out and changed their testimony, and they just basically swept everything else under the rug. So you can Google it, and you'll find a little bit of tidbits, but they'll say no charges were brought against anybody because they couldn't prove anything, because they kept threatening people. And so, but this shit has been, this Epstein shit, there's so many people involved with it, and it's gonna be very upsetting when all this comes to the surface, because there's celebrities that we like that are part of it.
Well, I don't like any celebrities. I hate them all.
Do you? You hate Jay-Z?
Who was that?
Never heard of him. Oh, really quick, because I don't want to spend. We did spend a whole episode talking about pedophile shit one time.
Wait,
with
are
Mal.
you accusing Jay-Z of it and being?
Wow, Candice. Wow.
I'm not accusing him.
Jay-Z's my
No,
favorite
you
rapper.
just
I know
said
exactly
no.
who he is.
You just said you don't like any celebrity, so I just said you don't like Jay-Z.
Yeah, I'm just messing.
But allegedly he is. So anyway, but you ain't hear that from me.
Yeah, sure.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. It's a secret. Wait, for really quickly, the last thing before we move on to the next topic, because this one is too sad, and it's also just, what can we do? What can we do about it? But I took, so just to show you how ingrained this gross behavior is in our society, someone posted excerpts from, you remember Pinocchio, Disney's Pinocchio?
Yeah.
Excerpts from the
It's a
book.
hard word.
It is. Val made fun of me one time because I didn't properly pronounce the P, but I got lazy. What can I say?
It's not a word for Saturdays.
It's not.
It's a weekday word.
It is. That's a Monday word. That's what you.
That's an M-F word right there.
Okay, so here's a passage from Pinocchio that I'm reading. A passage. Meanwhile, Honest John and Gideon were at a tavern. A fat coachman was there too. Honest John bragged about how much money Stromboli had paid them for Pinocchio. He said, "I pay even more for small boys," said the coachman. He showed them a sack full of gold. The coachman told Honest John his scheme. He brought boys to a place called Pleasure Island. He said, no boys ever return, at least not as boys. Honest John decided to catch more small boys.
This is in the Pinocchio movie?
This is in the book. I'm reading two screenshots from Pinocchio's book. So like, just to show you, like, this is Disney. We grew up reading this shit, and that's how they normalize it. And again, like I was saying about hiding in plain sight, they'll put it in front of our, why? If our parents had known that was in there, like, they'd have been like, what is this? And it's gone to such extreme levels now. Like, you go on YouTube and people are making animations that are grooming kids into thinking certain sexual behaviors are okay. You turn your head for one, your kid could go on YouTube and type in Elsa from Frozen to watch some clips about Elsa, and it'll pull up, there's an algorithm, so it'll pull up other videos that have Elsa in the name or as a tag, and those are produced by some sick people, and your kid, that'll pull up that video next while your kid was watching an innocent Elsa video. The next video that's up is made by this crazy person, and it's Elsa in these weird sexual positions, like doing gross stuff. You guys don't even, just watch your kids. Hide your kids, hide your wife. That's all I have to say.
I got a French bulldog. He's on YouTube looking at videos. We got a bigger problem.
Wait, you have a French bulldog?
I do. It was, yeah, I'm just trying to be a good husband. Yeah.
Oh, so sweet. I love French bulldogs. I love French bulldogs.
I'm going to put him down if he bites me again, but go ahead. I tell him every time it costs $80. They'll put a needle in your shoulder, and you better leave me alone. Go to your mama. Go to your mama.
Oh, that's hilarious.
How old is he?
He'll be a year. If he makes it next month, he'll be a year.
Do you have a kerchief on him, like a red kerchief and a hat? Does he eat a baguette?
Yeah, he eats everything but what he's supposed to. You know, it's sensitive around here about that dog. I love him.
Wait, did you call it a kerchief?
Yeah.
Isn't it a kerchief?
Really? Excerpts?
Excerpt. I've never heard anyone say kerchief. So you say handkerchief?
No, but when it's just the kerchief, it's kerchief.
Yeah, it's kerchief when it's just a kerchief.
Oh, well, what's the difference between
Apparently, you've never taken French class before.
I have.
Black men are amazing, Candice.
Wait! Nah, fuck that.
Candice right now is like Tony Baker. I never knew.
Hey, I'm so confused. Kerchief is French?
Yeah, for the purposes of this conversation, yes.
Because je parle français. And I do not know. Je ne comprends pas. Kerchief.
Oui.
It's a slang.
Oui.
Kerchief is a French slang. It's almost like what hood rat is to like American slang. Kerchief is the French. Yeah.
And Chief Keef, that is also.
The Pinocchio thing, I remember from seeing it in the movie because they called it, I mean, they're pretty in the open. So Walt Disney was a pedo?
I don't know specifically. I know he was racist as fuck and has a terrible history with that. And I know I want to say there may be some Nazi like connections with him too. Don't quote me on that. But no, just like him doing some very Nazi-esque behavior. So not like putting people in gas chambers and shit like that, but like he was not a good person. I know that's for sure.
I'm trying to think like my favorite cartoons, like Lion King, Aladdin. Is like, did I miss something subtly?
You remember the sex stuff though, right? You remember the subliminal messaging in the Disney movies, right?
Yeah.
Sydney.
Lion King or Lion
All
King?
of them. In The Little Mermaid, the priest got an erection in The Little Mermaid.
I never saw The Little Mermaid. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I was hooping. Is there another one?
Yeah, what was in Aladdin? Aren't the clouds shaped like penises or something?
Yes. Oh no, in Aladdin he said, good teenagers take off their clothes.
What?
He whispered in Aladdin. It goes, good teenagers take off their clothes. Mm-hmm. It's subliminal messaging. And in the clouds in Lion King, it said sex. It wrote sex in the clouds.
In Lion King?
In Lion King. It's when, I think,
The Jason Weaver one? The Jason Weaver one or the new one?
I need you to get out. Oh wait, he was the original one. He was.
Can I come back? Can I come back in the room now? Can I come back in here?
You come back. I thought he was in the new one, but no, he was the original Simba. He was. Shout out to Jason Weaver. What happened to him?
He chilling. He on Instagram. He got little grades, but he chilling. I think he doing his thing. Okay. So the new one had the old one?
No, the old one, the Jason Weaver one. It was around, I think Simba was probably like teenage Simba, headed into adult Simba. And I remember he walked up on like a cliff or like some kind of like grassy knoll and like laid down. And in the class, it's like something flew up in the air, like maybe like pollen or something. Yep, there we go. He found it.
You know what's crazy? It's like we've all worked, right?
Yeah.
And when you write something and then it goes through a note process, right? And those notes be so asinine sometimes. Like what? Like how do you look at that and not have the note of, hey man, sex is in the clouds. Nice try, but pull it. How do you?
Dude,
I've got notes for less. Our audience wouldn't understand this. Like, but you don't see sex in the clouds.
Maybe that was the note, is there was no sex in the clouds, and they were like, you know what, this is missing.
Yo.
We need to understand that these people are, I feel like they it's one of those things where they're not going to see it. They're not.
That's a Lion King?
Yeah, they're saying with the outline is like a woman's ass.
Yo!
Even know about that one.
Actually, send that to me, man. Oh, that's crazy.
Send it to me. I'm gonna masturbate to it.
No, investigation processes. We got to ban it. I just want to look at it first. I got to see what I'm banning.
There's so much. There's so many little things. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not gonna get a note about it because I'm sure like the writers didn't know, and then they watch it. And you don't see it. You know how long I had to be told it was there to see it. Yeah. I didn't just notice it. You're not going to notice it unless you were told to look for it. And then you look for it and you're like, oh shit.
That's crazy. It's just a lot. Oh, sorry. Hey, man.
Is it too much, Sydney?
Hey, man, I'm learning. Tell you that much. Learning.
Okay, well, speaking of things you did not know about. So I wanted to talk about this subject because you also did not know about this when it was going down. And it made me start thinking, well, it actually started making me start thinking before I spoke to you, but then speaking to you also was like, yeah, Black people really didn't know about this. So Mal, you and I talked about on a previous podcast with my friend Malcolm Barrett about the Me Too stuff that went down, and then Chris D'Elia got called out. And then a bunch of like, not a bunch, but like maybe a handful of other comedians started getting called out for shit. And Sydney called me like a week after it had gone down. And he goes, what happened to Chris D'Elia?
I was like, hold on, Black community. I'm trying to get the answer, goddammit. Yeah, the comedian. Hey, Candice, what's going on? What's going on?
Fill me in, Candice.
Craig David, fill me in.
I had to report back.
How did you find out, Sydney?
I literally, sometimes I'll go a couple days, I won't be online like that. I actually made a joke about this, like people, but I went online and Chris was trending. And I didn't even click it at first. I was like, oh, he must got a special out of some shit. I don't know.
Right.
And so then I didn't think about it. And then Candice's tweet was like, people aren't talking about it. Something. I was like, what? So then I looked at it again and I started seeing information by information, right? And I saw the clip of where his like eyes were they like, the cameras boys, when they was like, he's like, so wait, they could find out? So wait, I was like, all right. So then I kept looking and I was like, and then the one girl was like, well, he knew the picture before I had my 16th party. I was like, oh, Chris is fucking with kids. Like, it's like, oh shit. So then I hit Candice. Like, yo, catch me up. I told her, I was like, I got a lot on my mind. It's like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
What the fuck Chris do?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he had no idea. And so I had already in my head, because I didn't see any Black people that I follow or getting retweeted on my timeline saying anything about it. Maybe like two. I saw maybe two. Definitely no Black women. I felt like I was the only one. And I feel like the only reason why I was even a part of it was because I'm at the Comedy Store. And I'm one of like, it's like me, Alicia Cooper, Leslie Jones, Punky Johnson, and I feel like I'm forgetting like maybe one or two other women, but like, that's it. And so I was like, why is this not a conversation? And I was like, is it because a lot of the Black comedians in the community don't follow a lot of white people that are comedians to know about what's trending over on this side? And that bothered me.
You want to know the harsh reality?
Yeah.
Do I follow Jeff Ross? I don't think so. Like, I know he is.
Chris,
I follow, but a lot of the like white comedians, I to be honest, I know him kind of by face, not even by name. You know what I mean? It's like we're never in circles. It's just like a hi and bye. So it's like, I don't really know you like that.
Right.
Unless I think you're really funny. Like, I go out my way, be like, oh, this dude's funny. I used to have coffee with Chris Spencer and Vinny back in the day before he booked the first TV show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, that's when we start. You know, I knew him. You know what I mean? But we just don't. I won't say we. I just say I don't know a bunch of white comics like that. The ones I know is like I'm cool with. Like I know white writers. I might follow some white writers I've been in rooms with, but yeah.
But the stand-up scene, and
I can see a lot of my friends not even like Chris D'Elia, like, oh, what do you do? Because it wouldn't show up on their feed because no one follows.
Right,
you know what I mean?
and that's what my assumption was. Because I had a conversation with a Black friend of mine he's not in the comedy community, because he asked me, he was like, does it bother you at all being a Black woman? How just weeks before we were talking about Black Lives Matter and we were protesting. And now here we are in this space where on social media, at least on a lot of white people's timelines, the Black Lives Matter took just like a second off because of this Chris D'Elia shit. And then all of a sudden it was back to the Me Too movement. And he was like, does that bother you as a Black woman? Because you can't take off. You can't, like, you're Black and you're a woman. So it's like you're fighting both of these things. And so he was like, did it bother you that there were no Black comedians saying anything? And I was like, there really weren't any Black comedians saying, and that did hurt my heart. But at the same time, I had to reconcile that. I was like, I honestly think it is because they just don't know. They didn't know about it. That's what you're confirming that.
When I got the phone with you, I remember calling a couple comedians. I was like, yo, Chris D'Elia. And he was like, yo, I'm just here. That's not to be funny, no disrespect. That's the white boy. That's the white boy. Like, yeah. So it's like processing it, like the kid thing. Yeah, and it's like we a week out. Like, yeah, man, that's crazy. But none of us are like in a circle where I'm finna go play Call of Duty with Chris tomorrow. It's like, damn, like I'm not in the interaction with him. It's just finding out. It's like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Then it's like, Candice, you good? Has he touched you? Has he done? No, I'm okay, all right. So then, if you safe, all right, cool. Like, it's just a lot to process. It's like,
it's a lot to process for anyone, really. Just like the circumstance of what is being accused. And it's wild. I can't even wrap my head around that concept with anyone, much less somebody that I've been in the same building with, or is on my Netflix What's Hot page. It's like kind of weird.
Have either one of you ever known anybody at all that has been accused of anything as like this at all?
No,
I wouldn't. Like, that's what's so like weird. Like, Macho Miles the same way. Like, no one's ever been in my circle as a male friend being like, man, she's sexy. Ooh, right there, dude. I think she's like 16. So, like, that would cause like a beef, like a fight, a riff. Like that would cause like, it's no way I could be like, man, don't he cool otherwise? Like, like that doesn't happen. So when you see it, you just so like appalled because you're like, you don't get it. Like, I don't get inside of a pedophile's mind, or it's like that comes in 22. You know what I mean? That version of that woman you like comes in adult.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's not. But that is not. They don't. That's what they don't want. Like
that's the crazy thing. Like
that's the version they don't want. Is that that's the deal breaker? Is the age? That's the deal breaker. No, it has to be this age. Yeah, no, I know.
Weird.
It's
so weird.
So well, it's good to hear.
That's why the Wayfair thing too. It's just like even when I'm watching that story, I'm like, okay, really? Like
you gonna name the cabinet after the name?
Yeah,
like what?
Like that. Like first of all, the act of trafficking is so sinister and gross, and then on top of that, like it just doesn't seem like a real thing that it would be that a code that's that easy to break is
exactly.
Kind of like,
exactly.
Yeah, this cabinet right here is called Chelsea, and this one is Brianna. Like,
right?
What?
But also, what was interesting about that was that it would be the same cabinet and would have 3 different names. So it'd be this one white, let's say a white cabinet, a 10x8 cabinet. One version would be Brianna. The next version would be Catherine. The next one would be Shannon, and it's the same cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes no sense. Explain that. We need answers.
You know what's honest? It's like, as I'm sitting here processing that, it's like his friends who are in his close circle, like, I don't know who those are. I don't know who those comedians are, so I'm going to speak. I don't know.
Michael Lenoci, Mark Hayes.
I don't even know these.
Brian Callen.
Like, all these people you're naming, I've heard of Brian Callen. I couldn't pick these niggas out of a lineup.
I believe
right?
it.
Yeah. I'm saying if that's my boy, and I know, and that's my boy. Hey, listen, James Davis is my boy. Mm-hmm. Ain't no way he gonna be into some young shit and I not know, right? Mm-hmm. To be overused. Right. And it's like, you gotta whoop your friend's ass if you find out. It's not something I think you let go like, oh, he gonna get over that, or that was one time. You gotta check your homeboy, like, what the hell is, you know what I mean? And if you can't just let it go in hopes that he gets out of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then to be like, I'm so appalled. Like, I don't know these guys personally. I don't know their stories. I didn't even see their interviews. But it's like, come on. People that's close to me know what I go through. This is like comedy cool, but if you close to me, you know how I act. Marlon know how I am on the road. People know I don't like to party like that. If I'm out, it's because of you. Yeah. They know my behavior. And sort of like, to not say nothing or not like notice nothing. Hey, that young girl looks a little young coming to your room or nothing. Right. It's like, it's on him right now. You kind of, you know what I mean?
The thing is that there are women that have come forward basically saying that his friends are in on it too. And so, like Mike Lenoci and Mark Hayes' names came up on a few different posts. And I don't
None of my black male friends follow those 2 guys you said.
Yeah, no, of course not. Of course not. Nor should they. Yeah. They're basically just Crystal. They're who Crystalia takes out to feature for him. Okay. And he according to some of these posts and accusations, they do his bidding. They like will get the girls. They'll text them. And one of the accusations was he had his 2 guy friends text me saying there's going to be a party in his hotel room, and then they show up there. There's nobody else there. It's just Crystalia being creepy. So they like lured the girls in by saying, there's a party here, you should come. And they get there. It's 2 girls, and they get there, and it's just Aaliyah being creepy.
Hey, you was mad at Mal for moving. It's so much more. You know, that man was just trying to better his life. These people out here, oh my goodness.
You're right, Sydney. Wow. You're right. Were you about to say something, Mal? I do support King. Oh, I did want to say what was funny was that Sydney, I tweeted, I said something about this whole Me Too stuff, and I tweeted about, so basically the conversation was about the Me Too movement and women getting treated poorly, getting sexually assaulted by comedians, whatever. But I think on a broader spectrum, we're talking about just respect in comedy also. Like, women just don't, we still are in situations where we're not respected as not just comedians, but not as people. And so I think that was a conversation that started after all this stuff started happening. So I tweeted, the first time I noticed the bitch assness that existed in comedy was when I was at a open mic years ago, and I was getting heckled on stage like so badly. And it wasn't just me. They were these 2, we were at the Silver Lake Lounge, and there were these 2 gay dudes, but they're like Mexican gay dudes who were sitting at the bar being very like belligerent, just heckling all the comics. nobody was saying anything to them while they were up there. So I got up there and I was like, I'm going to address something. So I said something to them to basically tell them to shut up. And they got angry, like to the point where they stood up out of their chairs and it looked like they were about to come rush the stage. And so I'm standing there like, what the fuck? And none of the male comedians that were there did anything. They were sitting, I remember looking out into the audience being like, who the fuck is gonna come stop these dudes? Dudes just sitting at the two people that did anything were my friend Brenda Colonna. She stood up and grabbed a beer bottle, ready to fight.
She got hands up. She got hands.
Yeah, she's from.
I don't know.
She's from Ronkonkoma. Brenda's from Ronkonkoma, Long Island. All right, and she's Italian. She's ready.
Mhm.
So her and then Emily Maya Mills, who is one of the like hosts of the open mic, and she went over to like talk to the guys to like say, "Yo, calm down, sit down," and all the guys there were just like twiddling their thumbs. And I just remember in that moment, like being like, man, these male comics are bitches. And then Sydney, I think you saw that and you text me. I don't know if you remember this. You text me a few weeks ago and you were like, you better tell them about that time I walked you to your car.
Let the people know everybody ain't like that, you know?
I walked Candice in her car many times.
Yeah, no.
Stories, man.
Of course. Look, everybody knows that when I say there's bitch assness in the comedy community, I'm not talking about everybody, of course.
All the dudes in the room were like, Mal, all the dudes in the room were like, those are gang members we're talking to. Could you please just do your set so we can get out of here alive, please? Look at all these bitch ass dudes. I get it, but let's
You know
grip
what
on
else?
his forehead, Candice.
You know what else? Though? You know what else? I don't want to make this about race, but there were no black men in the room. I will say that. There were no black men in the room. It was all like more alty type of white male comedians. I will say
and
that.
the gay dudes that you were yelling at the bar were black?
They're Mexican.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't yelling at them. They were yelling, and I was just being like saying, because again, they were disrespecting every comic, and nobody would. And I was like, what? And again, that's another bitch assness. Like, why was nobody addressing the fact that these guys won't shut the fuck up? And so I just said, could y'all be quiet? And I said something else. I can't remember what I said, but not enough to make them so angry that they were going to come like stand up and do something. Those
male comedians didn't want to get glitter on them in the fight because they could explain it to their girlfriends at home.
I'm not going over. That's crazy that nobody said nothing.
Nobody said anything. Nobody addressed anything. So I was like, I guess I'll be the one that says something.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I don't hate men. I love men, support black men, especially.
Real quick.
Yes.
I was doing a show in Jersey one time with Marlon, whatever, and I was in the back and someone's being loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Marlon's never like this. He's like, Sydney, right? And it was like one of those calls like it's go time, right?
Yeah,
so I come outside
yeah.
and like I was eating. I had to turn up my face like, right? And it's the dude in the back like talking. So I walk up to the table, bro, and I was like, hey, you gotta leave. And he was like, what? I said, you gotta fucking leave. You talking, you gotta go. And then she was like, what? I said, he has to go. And the lady goes, sir, it's not him, it's that table. I had the wrong table. I said, I totally apologize. I gave them energy like, nah. And then, so I kicked the other people out and I went and bought other people a meal. I was like, man, my bad. I came over here like, that's my fault. Hey, man, I went over there and his friend was like, it's not him. I was like, bro, if you want to take his L, you can take it with him. Like I was on some angry, like, it's like, it wasn't us. I was like, oh, I'm totally sorry.
And the dude that did it was watching, knowing it was coming to him too.
Listen, he was a white dude like, I was like, you had me go over and yell at these beautiful people.
Oh, the funniest part of that story, Sydney was like, I was eating and I had to get my face like.
Does that work? All right, cool. Let's go. Let's get out there.
I've never had to kick someone out before as part of my feature job.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Are you taking on the road as a feature or security?
No, you know what it was? It was just a yell like, yo, where you think something's going on in the room. And like I have this thing where like, no, I'm not security, but if we come together, like you my boy. Like me and Mal
Yeah,
out,
for sure.
like you know what I mean? It's like I gotta make sure he good, you know?
Yeah.
Right, of course. What where was this? Did you say it was at an actual comedy club or was it like
it was in a what's the club in Jersey where the owner is like the host and the owner, white guy, it's the Jersey. You know the Jersey one.
I never been to the Jersey one.
It's a club out there.
Yeah. I was gonna say where was the security for the club?
I mean, the security in comedy clubs is trash.
They're
never trying to, never trying to kick.
Not all of. I mean, the Comedy Store security is always on it. Whenever someone pulls out their camera or whenever they
Since somebody got shot up there, they got somebody in the front checking IDs at the Comedy Store. You know, I noticed that. CID, sir.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I think this may be what we only have time for is one more topic.
Okay.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. Since we're on the topic of comedy and Blackness, let's talk about Monique. Monique had this was probably like what 2 years ago now when that first happened, where she was trying to
forever ago.
Yeah, she was offered a special by Netflix, and they offered her $500,000, to which she said was insulting. She turned down the offer. Instead of negotiation, basically they were just like, we're just not going to do a special then if you just don't take this money. So, which in my experience, it's like you turn down this offer, like let's try and meet and make you happy so that we both find a place where we're both okay. And that didn't happen with her. And she was complaining about like Amy Schumer got paid, I think $11 million to do hers. Chappelle got paid, I think $20 million to do his. And so she's like, that's my worth. I have an Oscar. What does she have any other awards? I don't know, but she's definitely got an Oscar. So she was like, these are my credits. I deserve more money. Next thing you know, she didn't get it. She didn't do a special with them. But now here we are today. Oh, and let me also point out that she got dragged by so many people in the Black community by saying she was out of line. She can't put that many asses in seats. She made a mistake. She has overvalued her worth. Whatever. She got dragged by the Black community. Now
she has a BET award.
Mal, you should have opened with Oscar. Just say.
I'm not shitting on the BET Awards. I love them. I used to write for them, but that timing was so fucking incredible.
It was the timing.
Oh my God, the way you read it, sir.
He looked up so innocently. She has a BET award. Does that count? Does that count?
Your Honor, I'd like to give the listener the award. Yes. Oscar, yes. Oscar, yes. Now can we get to...
Is that
NAACP Image Award, 2002, 2004, 2005.
I mean, the Image Award, that's something.
New York Film Critics, 2009. She got most of her awards for Precious, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was one of the queens of comedy when they had that tour together. She was one of the queens. And she also has just been doing stand-up for a very long time. So she does have a fan base. She does have a built-in fan base. So now, fast forward to today, she actually had taken this to court, tried to file a discrimination lawsuit against Netflix, which they tried to have dismissed on 2 occasions. On both occasions, they got turned down. So now the case is moving forward. So this is where we are with Monique. And I don't know, I haven't been like on social media too much paying attention to the Monique stuff, but I have a sinking feeling that it's the same Black people that dragged her that are going to be like, go Black women, right? Like now that she actually is going to try and potentially get some money from Netflix for it and prove Netflix wrong. I feel like she's going to get some support from Black people that weren't there for her before.
I mean, does she have a case though?
If you can, the judge said, let's move forward. So there must be enough evidence.
Can't Netflix just go, yeah, we paid Chappelle $75 million because he's Dave Chappelle. and we rest our case with that. And then we think that this is worth that. And like, they're sort of a private company. They don't have to buy your special. They're not buying your special or my special or
Right. And
Sydney's
that's
special. If they said 500 grand to me, I'd be like, cool, I'll take 500 grand.
okay, but you and Monique, then you
I
see the problem? That's
I
Monique
don't
is like,
have a
I have an
BET
Oscar.
award. You're correct. You're correct. I don't have a BET award.
I do think, though, real quickly, you could, if you were to disagree with a stance, it doesn't mean you hate black women or women, right? Because I just want to put
Yes,
that.
it does.
It does. I think Monique, you cannot deny she has a fan base,
Right.
right? Like he said, I think the awards came at a certain time in her career, right? And I think if she went to Netflix right then after Precious and was like, I want to drop a special,
Mhm.
I think they would have cut the fucking check,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how many years ago Precious was.
It was 2008 or
Yeah.
9.
Okay,
No.
so that's
Something like
12 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
11 years ago. Okay. Amy Schumer, is she funny to me? I'll get in trouble for saying this. Not to me, right?
Not to me.
But
Comedy is subjective.
But listen, at the time she got a special, like
Yeah.
her or not,
Yeah.
revenue was coming in from her projects.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the face of the odds, she's so current. Whether you think she's funnier than Monique or not, the business is probably like, this person's hot right now. Cool.
Right.
Monique,
Yeah.
funny following. We have 500,000 for that, right?
Yeah.
Do I think? And if she doesn't want to do that, I totally respect. Hey, I'm worth more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And initially, I didn't see it as a color thing versus what they saw value in. As
Mhm.
far as like, it's like when you do NBA contracts, they're looking at or contracts in sports, they're looking at the next man's contract because then they can compare it to, but it has to be of recent. You can't be like,
Doesn't-
yo.
Monique also has a championship ring, right?
Right, but you can't say you got to pay me
Yeah.
in my 2009 stats in 2020.
Right.
You guys didn't get my joke.
No, I got it.
No, I believe the women. I'm just saying.
I hate both of you.
I don't know if it was so much race versus what they saw value in because of the timing of what was going on. Do I think that she's funny to Amy Schumer? Yeah. You know what I mean? Do I think she has a following? Absolutely. But I think in that time that you were asking for a special, I don't think you were as hot.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I agree with that 100%. So what I think might be happening and why might be moving forward with this is that they have evidence to show that maybe she was her worth was gauged unfairly. Meaning, of course, maybe she's not worth Amy Schumer's or Chappelle's at the time, of course, but maybe she was worth more than $500,000. Maybe they should have said, "We'll give you $1 million." You know what I'm saying? So, and if there's a way that they can prove that, then yes. But maybe that's all she wants. We don't even know. But there is an issue, you know, when it comes to, of course, color. There is an issue, and then of course also being a woman on top of it. We have to consider that could have been the reason.
100%, and that can't be argued. The point that you just made. But I remember at the time when the story came out, I was like, it felt like at the time too, and even now, it's like when you see who's getting specials on Netflix, it's like older comedians that aren't really working that are just like, oh, they're giving out money? I'll go get some of that.
Yeah.
And so maybe her feelings and her ego was just a little hurt because it's not like she's been doing stand-up the entire time. We know Monique from being an actress at that time. And now it's like, well, I want more money. And it's like, when you're the one that's in the position to be asking, not like in a position of control like that, it's like you kind of have to, okay, you're not going to give me what I want, well, maybe I'll shop it somewhere else and try to go find the number you're looking for. You can't just like...
Or you know what? She could have, and no, I don't want to tell what she could have done. She's way more successful than I've been, but I'm saying, make your own special and sell it to your fans, and you probably would have made more than 5. You probably would have made a couple million off the support of, like I did it myself. It was Black woman. You said this. I think I'm worth this. I'll bet on myself. I'll spend the 60 grand to shoot the special, and I'll make so much money off of it. And then you know what I mean? It's like, oh, anybody couldn't hate on. No one could hate on that.
Yeah.
Even if you wasn't a Monique you would like watch that special, like, yo, this black woman sat here and said, I'm putting my own money in. I'm gonna show these motherfuckers that I'm worth whatever. Now, should she have to do that in her mind? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She probably, I shouldn't have to do that. You know?
I mean, the only reason why we probably think with that as an option is because we're at a level in our careers where it's like, well, you have to fucking make shit happen before shit just happens for you. And like you said, Candice, she has a ring, she has an Oscar, so she's like, dude, I've done my work.
Yeah.
Give me my, you know.
I would like to clarify, she does not have a championship ring.
That's what you said.
That is what I said. She hasn't. Yeah. I know.
Look, the
you guys just did not get my joke at all. Let's just move forward. I was saying she had an NBA championship ring. She don't have a champion. Did she play for the Lakers? I am just not aware of.
I thought you were making the comparison to the Oscar being a championship ring.
No, I was literally saying she has a championship ring.
Oh, cool.
Which is ridiculous.
Cool. I've never seen her play basketball, but whatever you say, Candice.
That's what the joke was, niggas! That's why it was a joke, you fucking idiots.
They don't struggle.
I hate both of you. Oh, wait, I was going to make a point, and then I lost it. Cat Williams, he did that with his specials. He went on his own and said, fuck all these other outlets and platforms because I'm just going to, and made so much money doing that.
But doesn't have an Oscar, baby. Sorry.
He does not have an Oscar. I'll tell you what, though, his episode of Atlanta, did you watch that? Hands down, one of the funniest shits I've ever seen. And I would say he needs to at least get an Emmy for that because it was so funny to me. He's so funny.
Cat kills little gay. You remember him in My Wife and Kids?
No.
When he came in and played that. You could YouTube this. My wife, he was playing his little friend, and he came in real quick. He kills scenes. Like, he kills
He's
scenes.
hilarious. He's a hilarious person.
He's a character.
Yeah. Well, fellas, I think we're out of time.
Well, that was fun.
I had a good time.
I had a really good time.
I want the audience to know I was here 15 minutes early. I want the audience to know that.
And I would like them to know that you were not. You were not at all. That's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie, as my mom would say. That, Joyce Thompson, that is a bold-faced lie.
I would like the audience to know that I just took a break from cleaning my apartment. As you can see, this room is now empty.
Oh, wow.
I've been sitting on the floor in this bedroom.
It's happening.
Karina's outside being very quiet so I could record this podcast.
It's happening.
And yeah, I hate moving.
Yeah, no, it's the worst. I wish I was apologetic about giving you a hard time about moving, but I'm not. I'm just not. And so...
Cool.
So, in closing, are you guys gonna watch Monique's special if she gets a? Do you think after all this is said and done that that Netflix would be like, let's give her a special?
I don't know. I will watch it. I still watch The Supporter. Of course, I was a supporter. But I don't know. I don't know if you take me to court, then I'd be like, all right, look, you still want that special? I don't know.
Yeah, no. I think
that's the equivalent of being like, yo, we good?
Yeah, we good? I know you called the cops on me, but we straight.
We good? Yeah, no, I'm curious. Yo,
I'm sorry, because if we good, I was just wondering, if you still want to, throw a woman that might, get a little special.
Yeah,
after our legal fees, we still got $500 for you.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if she wins, if she's going to get more money and they're going to be like, fuck, we should have just given her that damn special.
Right.
What if she wins and gets like $5 million? Which I don't think is going to happen, but.
That's what she wants to win in the suit. Maybe she's like, whew, I won this money and now I don't have to do that trash special.
She did do a special on Showtime.
With due respect, I don't know if it was going to be trash or not.
Yeah, no, to be fair.
Now, to be fair, I've not seen it.
She did do a special on Showtime, but it wasn't like just her. It was her hosting, and then it was a bunch of her friends.
That's
Yeah,
special.
Just did Just Niche.
Yeah, Just Niche did that, and what's his name did it? Donnell was on it. Donnell Rawlings, and there was other people that I don't know who they were, but I watched it to support. I'm out
The
here.
whole thing?
Listen, they're gonna settle out of court for $522,000.
They're gonna settle out of court for a free membership to Netflix for 3 years. We'll give you our password to Netflix for 7 years.
20
Deal? Yeah. Whatever. All right, guys. This has been really fun. Wait, really quickly, Sydney. What's that artwork behind you? Who did that?
My wife. We went to
That's
one
a
of the
vision board, Candice.
paint sips, and then and this is her vision board. I'm in her office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have similar accent walls.
Yeah. I don't pick nothing. I don't do nothing.
Does that say fun and then there's a PlayStation?
No, that's a camera. My vision board downstairs. What is this? I think that's a camera, but she wants to be creative. Mal, you'll learn that you just, you get through the day.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You opened up by saying you're a good husband by getting her a puppy, and now I'm gonna go ahead and say a good husband would know what's on his wife's vision board.
Well, I don't want her to let her vision out. What? Oh, bitch! Not like a bitch in a bad way, but it's in the phrase. In the phrase of the way. In the phrase.
Since we were talking about subliminal messaging, I'm just gonna whisper in this podcast every 5 minutes. Sydney Castillo hates women. I'm just gonna whisper.
It's gonna go viral too. I knew it. The way he wears his hat, I can tell by the way he wears his hat.
Oh man, no, I know both of you are very respectful gentlemen, and I thank you for coming here. You guys, one last time, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, we're on all podcast platforms. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel, my personal channel, where I'm now posting the videos. Rate and review us on iTunes, really does make a difference. And last but not least, if you haven't told someone about the struggle, make sure you do that. One more time, Mal, where can people unfollow you?
Unfollow me at The Struggle Podcast. You'll find it on Spotify and iTunes. I'm at Mal Hall on Instagram and Twitter, Mal Hall TV on YouTube. Everybody be safe. Wear a mask. It's the least you can do.
Yeah, no, seriously, do wear a mask for sure. But next time Mal will be here, you will be in a different home. Different
So
spot. Good luck on the move. And last but not least, Sydney Castillo. Where can people find you?
Hey, man, find me at Sydney is Funny everywhere on Twitch. Texas Dime on iTunes. Man, yeah, man, Shout out to all the kings out there listening. Wondering if they have a voice that's being heard. Me and Mal hear you, brothers. That's it. That's it. Good night. Yeah.
I hate you so much. You guys, thanks for being here. Till next time, The Struggle. Bye.
Bye.